now open it up for the board meeting July the 28th. I didn't see any elected officials. And if you will, take your cell phones and put them on silent so we won't be interrupted during the meeting. Marshall, if I can have the sign-in sheet, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. Johnny Burrows, where are you at, buddy? Good to see you. Come on up to the podium. I don't know if y'all know this character or not, but he is a character. He dresses better than anybody in the whole county. He's been a prayer warrior for me and the county for how many years, Johnny?
46 years.
26 years. He's special for the county. He's special. He's a pastor at Shiloh Baptist Church, 45 years. Is
Yes.
it 45 or 46?
46.
46. Married, his wife Augustine, 49 years, probably 50 years now, ain't it?
Yes, 49.
Yep. One child. How's your grandson doing?
Doing well. He wanted to come tonight, but I told him get some sleep. I have him all day tomorrow.
I love him to death. He's a pistol. Loves taking care of his grandkids. You love your family, don't you?
Yes.
Loves gardening. What kind of stuff you got in your garden?
I didn't do anything. It was too hot. I'm waiting till the fall garden. I'll put it all out for the fall.
Well, good. I'm going to get everybody to stand. You open us up in prayer and then the pledge.
Thank you. Let us pray. Our great God and Savior, again, we come in the name of the Savior to give you thanks. Father, we thank you for this great nation we live in, this great state, this great city, this great county. We pray, Lord God, for the wisdom given to the board, that they may lead and guide Paulding as the way you would see fit, that every citizen of Paulding County would be blessed by your grace and mercy. We ask this all. And Lord, remember our first responders, our police officers, all of those who don a uniform to protect us while we slumber and sleep at night. We could never do anything without your grace and mercy. And we plead to you today, give us grace, give us mercy, that we all, God, may understand how you're leading this great nation, what you're doing in each one of our lives. And we give you the glory and honor. In the name of the Savior we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Brother John.
That's a Baptist preacher.
Okay, as a reminder, I think y'all have seen the minutes. Everything okay over there? Were you tearing it up, Johnny? You want me to bring Philip in here? Here he comes anyway. Thank you, Philip. The minutes, July the 14th, 26th work session minutes, and July the 14th board of y'all have a chance to review them. I'd like to call for a motion to adopt the minutes for July the 14th.
Motion to adopt the minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Dunn. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Caker, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Announcements. I think we have one announcement.
Yes,
From the board.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to make sure everyone knows that when I get up and leave at 6:40, it's because I have a plane to catch. It's not about anything going on here.
Okay.
So I will be leaving at that time. So just
You
wanted to-
enjoy your trip. It's well
Thank you.
deserved.
Thank you.
Any other announcements or comments? Thank you. No invited guests. We have one bid award, and that's to award the Mount Tabor Park connectivity and the additional parking project to Blunt Construction Company, LLC, in the amount of $379,445.11. Funds for this project will be allocated from SPLOST. This project is located in Post 1. I'll call for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Dunn, is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Galloway, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I don't have any reports from committees or departments at this time. Public participation on agenda items. There are 7, I believe it is, and if you had time to review them, I know you have. I'll take a motion to take action to approve those 7 items.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Ms. Galloway, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Snyder, all in favor, say aye.
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 No old business at this time. New business. First one is to award Kendall Supply Company a contract for construction services to install the Census Base Station at Sweetwater 911 Lattice Tower site in the amount not to exceed $99,500 for the renewal and the extension fund. This project is located in Post 2. I'll call for a motion.
I'm sorry. I make a motion to approve.
Ms. Caker, I was fixing to table that thing. I don't have a second.
Second.
Ms. Galloway, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next is to approve the development agreement for Gateway South with Blue River Development LLC from contributions of $568,021.89 to the Cadillac reroute project. This project is located in Post 3. I'll have to call for a motion on this one.
A motion to approve.
Ms. Galloway, is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Caker, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next is to approve change order number 1 of Magnum Contracting LLC in the amount of $91,101 for the removal of unextracted rocks and addition of concrete flumes to the Richland Creek Park project. Funding for this project will be allocated from SPLOS. This project is located in Post 4. I'll call for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Snyder, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dunn, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next is authorize the chairman to sign the change order from Hogan for the fleet building. The total cost of the change order will be $44,445.88. This change order includes the sewer drop, the parking lot remediation for the fire alarm panel. Funding for this project will be allocated from the general fund. This project is located in Post 4. I'll call for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Snyder, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dunn, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next one is to adopt Resolution 2026-26, confirming the executive session for the purpose of litigation and personnel. I'll call for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Ms. Caker, is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Galloway, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And we'll go on.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to add an item to the agenda. It'll be titled Resolution 2026-27. Titled Imposing a Moratorium on Technology Park Overlay District and Processing, Hosting and Related Services, Land Use Activities.
Do I have a motion?
Yeah.
That was the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Mr. Snyder, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any discussion? Any comments or discussion from the board?
Don't we need to take a vote on that?
I'd like to say something. There's a comment, actually. I hope we've all learned something. I hope we've all learned something. Hopefully we can work together. I know that we've taken advice from some people that probably shouldn't have took advice from it, but it was in the interest of the county, and I will still do it. I will still consider my investigation on everything that it is. Not hadn't made any choices. I'm not for them. I'm not for against them, and I'm hoping that all the acquisitions that have been pointed to the board, I hope you've learned that this board's got your best interest in mind, and all the name calling, I hope that stops. Any other comments?
Mr. Chairman, just a reminder, that was just a vote to add that item to the agenda, so.
And we need to vote on it.
You have to start to read it and then vote on the actual resolution.
Oh, okay. So we're voting now?
Right, you may want to have
Read it.
someone just read the resolution.
Oh, okay. Chris,
didn't-
can you
Chris,
do
you
that
vote.
for us,
We
please?
didn't vote on adding it. We need to vote on adding it.
Huh?
Did you not get a vote? Okay, so you
We
can
didn't-
call the question to
we
vote
did-
to add it.
Yes.
We didn't vote to add it yet.
So just call the, you got a motion in a second, but all you need is a vote.
So all in favor say aye to add it.
Aye.
Well, that passed. Now, Chris, can you read that resolution?
Mr. Cable, should I read the whole resolution? Would that be appropriate, or the main part? Let's get the whole part. Okay. This is resolution number 2026-27, imposing a moratorium on Technology Park Overlay District and data processing, hosting, and related service land use activities, State of Georgia, County of Paulding. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of Paulding County is charged with the responsibility of protecting the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Paulding County, and as such is authorized to enact ordinances and resolutions governing activities and properties in the unincorporated areas of Paulding County, Georgia. Whereas Article 9, Section 2, Paragraph 4 of the Georgia Constitution authorizes counties to engage in land planning and to exercise the power of zoning. Whereas construction and land use related to data processing, hosting, and related services are potential components of Paulding County's economy. Whereas the Board of Commissioners is charged with the responsibility of considering applications for rezoning of land to various zoning categories. Whereas Paulding County's various non-residential zoning districts, consisting primarily of the e-commerce business park district, the advanced manufacturing logistics district, I-1 light industrial district, and the TPOD technology park overlay district, were intended by the Board of Commissioners to allow for a variety of non-residential uses, including but not limited to data processing, hosting, and related services, also known as data centers, as evidenced by various components within the districts. Whereas the Board of Commissioners finds that these facilities can present potentially negative impacts to nearby properties, including noise pollution and air quality impacts resulting from cooling systems and backup generators, as well as undesirable aesthetic impacts. Whereas other suburban jurisdictions, Cobb County, Coweta County, and Douglas County, have enacted moratoria to allow zoning authorities to study, research, and review the data center concept to determine the proper definitions, precise land use controls, and planning needed to accommodate this emerging land use trend. And whereas the Board of Commissioners has determined that application of the current zoning ordinance to data center land use should be reviewed, and absent such a review, the well-being of the citizens of the county could be negatively impacted. Now therefore it be resolved by the Paulding County Board of Commissioners as follows. A moratorium is imposed until January 1st, 2027 upon the acceptance of rezoning applications, development permits, acceptance of requests for civil plan review for any land use that will involve the construction of data centers, data processing, hosting, and related service/facilities, including any permitted uses contemplated in the Technology Park Overlay District. During the period of this moratorium, including any extension thereof, persons filing rezoning application, development permit applications, or applications for civil plan review shall be required to submit a sworn affidavit affirming that their application does not violate the restrictions of this moratorium. This moratorium shall not apply to the following: any pending rezoning application filed prior to the date of enactment of this resolution, any pending application for a land disturbance permit filed prior to the day of enactment of this resolution, and C, any property subject to a current valid and its unexpired land disturbance permit and or building permit. And this would be so resolved this day, July 28, 2026.
I'll take a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to approve this resolution.
Ms. Galloway, is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Caker? Discussion now before we vote.
Yes.
Any questions, comments, or things from the board that you'd like to add or talk about?
I want to say that I think it's very important for us to think about everything. We try to think about everything on every decision, and I appreciate how this board works together to do that. We learn some things as we go. I feel like we've been learning a lot as we go on this, and I think this will be a positive move for both us and anybody that might want to come here in the future with a data center, for us to get our code together and make sure that we have everything in there that we all agree on, and that we've listened to the community input on this. And I have asked Chris if they would set up sometime this week, by the end of the week, a comment email address that if you have a particular concern about data centers that is backed up by research, and by research I don't mean a YouTube video, I mean something that is a peer-reviewed study, and if you will send that concern to that special email. We want to keep them all in one place so nothing gets lost, nothing gets dropped between the cracks, and we want to hear your comments. Then we'll be able to take all those comments together, look at all the research. We've done a lot of research too, and we've looked at a lot of research, but we will continue to do that pretty much for the rest of the year and see what we can come up with for the new year.
Thank you, Virginia. Any other comments from the board?
I'll say something. We, as a board, have done a lot of research. I know a lot of people think that it just came on and we ran with it, but that is not true. We have done a lot of research. So much research, it's probably sickening to most people. But we as a group, as a board, are coming together. We are going to do more research, but we expect you guys to do some research too and get back to us and fill that email. So we know where you're coming from, because we've only heard negative. We want to hear some positive stuff coming from you guys as well. And you will hear from us. So please help us out here. You're here. You're the reason that we're doing what we're doing. So you need to help us out. Thank you.
Any other comments from the board? I will tell you that we have done a lot of research and still doing a lot of research, and they're not, they don't jive with some of the things, but we wanted to get the facts. There's some, I think Dean, with Georgia Tech, and you've done a lot of research with the university systems, haven't you?
I have.
So anyway, I think working together, you can do a lot more, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping when this is over, this room is still full, because there's other things going on in the county that are just as important, and we need your intake on that also. Any other comments? Do I have a motion to?
Got it?
Already got it. All the comments. So all in favor, say aye.
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 And now we got to, thank you. Do public participation in non-agenda items. Y'all still want to talk?
What time is it?
You do? Okay. Huh? Yeah, I will. Michelle Wolven, if you'll get up and start to come to the podium. Where's she at? And then in the batter's box, if you'll, Christopher, if you'll come in right behind that and start to talk. Michelle, you're up. You're up to the podium. Direct your questions to me, and you will be timed.
Well, I have to say that I have a whole speech prepared and some emails, and I thank you very much for humbling yourselves and making the statement that you did and listening to us today, listening to us for the last 3 months. So I will save my speech because I guess I don't need to say it because you guys probably already talked about all this in your executive session today, which is what I was hoping you were doing. But I do have emails, and it does track the lack of, what will I call it, research, oversight. It looked like you guys just rammed everything through. I mean, the emails that I have show that Mr. Estes was trying to get another project pushed through. And it doesn't look like you guys listened to the manual on data centers that you guys all had access to. And it said right in the manual, you don't put hyperscale data centers in residential neighborhoods. Like, why did you not listen to that? Why didn't you guys take that into some sort of consideration? It seems like you guys just opened us up to a lot of more difficulties down the road. Hopefully you guys can redo this in a way that is going to be good for the county. But honestly, I don't think there's anywhere in Paulding County where we can put a data center that won't severely impact people. There might be some room down by the airport, but even over there, I saw that there are people that live close to there. So you're going to affect somebody if you put it out near farmland. The farmers, they're going to be upset. I just don't think that there is a legitimate place in Paulding County. And on top of that, we don't need more data centers unless we want to track people. We have enough data centers. We don't want to live in a 24/7 surveillance state. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to lock everybody into surveillance. That's why they need these new data centers. It's not to keep the cloud working. The cloud's working fine. Our pictures, our email, our Facebook, everything's working fine right now. So why do we need 300 more data centers in Georgia alone? We don't. So I beg you, look at our future. Do we want to have digital money? Do we want to have to be accountable to a government agency who knows who that government might be 4 years from now? Do we want them telling us that we can't spend our money in a certain way? That's where we're going. I'm a Republican. I have been a Republican, but what they're saying about this AI race and how it's so awesome that what we're doing and we need all this extra infrastructure for AI and data centers, we really need to think about how this message is coming across. It feels to me like it's just propaganda. And I know you guys accused us of, Chinese propaganda, but we were getting our information from people who actually live around data centers. You guys went to a data center in South Georgia, and my question is, did you guys actually go visit any people who lived in those areas? Because their water is brown. So did you see that? I mean, it was brown water. They don't have any good drinking water. They got to ship it in. So I think you need to look at facts and not look at propaganda from our government, and think about what's going to happen if we put data centers in Paulding County. I know that we can put them in industrial zones already, but I just don't think that we need another data center in the state of Georgia, or definitely not Paulding County. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Atkins, I don't see him up there in the batter's box. Is he not here? Okay, so next we'll go to Ms. James, if she'll come up to the podium, and Mr. Callas, if you'll be in the batter's box. If you're ready to come up
I'd like
soon
to
as
say
she
hello
finishes.
to my Paulding neighbors and commissioners. I really appreciate what you've done today. I think that I felt that you have awakened and seen that. And this is just the beginning, because I agree with the statement that how is this being used in the future? Technology, to me, new technology, there's always the sale. I work in the industry. That's my career. And we have been sold technology and sold it's the best thing since sliced bread. And the sale was wonderful. The prints, the screens, everything wonderful. We implement it, and it's worse than what we had before. And we're stuck with it. And I think that we're in a wonderful situation in Paulding because we have an opportunity to kind of do the research. We can learn from what is happening with data centers around this country. We got 22 states now that are addressing lawsuits and regulatory actions and moratoriums and legal disputes. We have an opportunity to avoid that. And simply what you're doing is taking a pause, a moratorium, to say, let's go back and see if this makes sense for Paulding. Let's see how it really impacts our water system. Let's see what are the real true gains. Because one thing we know about new technology, it changes all the time. 10 years from now, these big mega data centers we put in communities may be irrelevant, and we're stuck with this. So I think it's well worth the time and effort to do the research. And that's all I ask, is do that research and be able to come to us and share what you know with us. Both the pros and cons of that. And let us work together to make that decision on what's best for Paulding. I've been out here for 30 years. I literally commute downtown Atlanta because I enjoy my experience here in Paulding. I enjoy the scenery, the lakes, wildlife. You don't see that in the city. And I don't want to lose that. And that's all I'm asking, is that what you've done today, I'm just really impressed and I'm amazed, because I had wondered what your thoughts were. I did feel that you probably did do your due diligence and research. And it's nice that you came out today and let us know where you stand with this. And I just want you to know I greatly appreciate it. And just keep us informed. Keep us informed. And I will be probably loading the comment box with some factual information. And I agree with you. You can't believe everything you read. But there's factual, documented information from institutions that have done the research on these data centers. So not all of what we see out there is fake. I just want to thank you very much for taking the time out to listen to me.
Thank you, Ms. James. Mr. Callas is up, and Ms. Padgett will be in the batter's box.
Afternoon, Board. Folks, 30127, Paulding County, thank you very much for listening to the group. Thank you very much for doing diligence. That is the best way to start this conversation. In my line of work, I'm always the one that tries to fix things and operations, and folks come to me, and I'm the one that talks all the time, go figure. But understanding how leadership acts, understanding how, I'm not even going on my speech anymore because I'm so excited. I'm just going rogue here. I'm like the Donald at the last press conference. But going to get the board involved with the community has been my main focus so far in all my speeches. I am a communicator at heart. I can get both sides together. There's always an off-ramp. In any situation, level heads, cooler heads will prevail. We'll have an off-ramp, and it'll end up being a win-win for everyone. This is such a great step. I would love it if the board would have a, not lunch and learn or a town hall or some sort of meeting where the general public, we're all old veterans here with this process, but a lot of the other people in the community probably would like to ask you guys some questions and simply get an answer from you. Like I said, I do all the talking, and I don't know how and where all of our board members feel and where their hearts are, and I'm just so grateful that everyone here listened to the community. My civics lesson, because I'm still getting my PhD, is all about missions and values. And when I read the when I read the county's mission statement online, I kind of thought back to a couple jobs ago that I had that just drilled that into our head. Do the right thing. Whatever you're doing, make sure it's ethical and above board. But before everything, get your team members involved. Get the people involved, whoever they are. Conflict's good. Confrontation's good because it's going to make a dialogue. A dialogue's going to make it better. So I'm going to be short and sweet. Thank you very much. Could we do a town hall somewhere is my challenge to you all, to bring more people into this so we can continue to learn on where we're at currently, because I'm about future state. Current state's fine. We need to set a plan for the future, and I'd love to work with you guys to do that like everyone else here in this room. Very grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Callas. Ms. Padgett at the podium, and Ms. Summerhill, if you'll be in the batter's box.
Hello. Hi, everyone. This is my first Board of Commissioners meeting, so I just want to say hello. My name is Savannah. I'm a property owner here in Paulding County. I want to say thank you, first of all, for the resolution that was passed today. Part of my ask in coming here was a moratorium at minimum for this type of construction work, for this type of development in the county. I want to echo some things that were said here earlier as well. I also work in technology. I work for a company that develops AI. I think it is the responsibility of these billion-dollar technology companies to find better ways to manage their resources versus just building willy-nilly in our communities, right? Like, 6 months is not enough time to catch up with the type of development that needs to happen via technology for data centers to be safe for communities, at least from my perspective, right? Like, you see water quality issues, you see issues with electricity, power grids, wildlife, as was mentioned earlier. So, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to continue being involved. I'll keep it super short and sweet. But I just want to say 6 months really isn't long enough. I plan on submitting my own research and things that I've learned to the email address. But I do want to say, as far as the community is concerned, this is an incredible example of what organizing means. And I'm just like, I'm impressed beyond words, to be honest. Because we're getting at this well before it becomes an issue, right? Like, I heard y'all visited a data center in South Georgia. People can't drink their water there. I don't want to be in a community where I can't drink the water from my faucet, right? Like, I pay money here in the county so I can use the resources, and I don't think that these technology companies should be able to come here and use them and abuse them for their own benefit. So Thank you. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Padgett. Is Ms. Summerhill here? Then we'll move on to Ms. Mitchell, and in the batter's box, we'll have Mr. Baird come sit in that chair, if he's here. If you're not sitting in the batter's box, I'm just going to pass you over. Go ahead.
You ready? Okay, good evening. My name's Mittie Mitchell. I live in the Bethel Church area in Hiram. One of the TPODs that's in place currently is in the back of my neighborhood. So it is very personal, and I'm very passionate about this situation. And I appreciate what's happened here tonight, but I'm going to be transparent because that's what I'm fixing to hit on with y'all. I'm having a really hard time drinking the Kool-Aid and not wondering what's happening in January after elections in November. I personally don't trust it. And that's the way I feel, and I know a lot of other people that feel that way too. So I'm going to be very transparent and put it out there, because transparency is one of the biggest issues that we have all had with what has gone on. I've known Virginia for 38 years. My husband's known her for 50 plus years. I've always supported her in everything she's done. I've always went to my neighbors and encouraged them to support her and to be at all these rallies and all these debates. And when you came aboard, Tim, Randy Butler took you from house to house in my neighborhood, and we helped encourage people to vote for both of y'all. And we have neighbors that are actually been angry with us because we did do that, and then they feel like y'all turned on us, which makes them angry at us now. Okay? Virginia sat at our barbecue and said, well, nobody showed up to debate this. Well, I'm going to tell you straight up, I haven't read the Dallas New Era in about 15 plus years, since my kids are no longer in sports, because that's when I read it, when I was looking for their team's picture in the paper. I get that that's the legal route, but this is 2026. We have other avenues to travel in addition to that. In addition to the fact that this board has the access to the voter registration, and y'all have our contact information, and if it was important enough to communicate with us, I feel like y'all would have utilized that, just like when you came door to door when you wanted us to vote for you. So I am very disappointed in the transparency that has went on with this issue, and very proud of what's happened tonight, but again, I don't trust come January. I feel like this was done just because you want us to change the way people feel about voting in November. I have always been a straight up Republican ticket, and I'm going to tell you straight up and transparent, I'm not looking at doing that in November because I don't trust this. I know Joe Rich is planning on selling. He's already in the selling process, and he closes in a couple of weeks because his renters have already been told to get out. So, and I know he's had a very loud voice with y'all. We've heard the stories, as well as the gentleman on Coal Lake has been a very loud pain in the side from what I've heard. So my question in the back of my mind is, what are you going to do with those folks? How are you going to calm them down? How are you going to keep them in the data centers with the deep pockets, and not one lawyer, but a whole group of lawyers, from taking us to court now because we've already gotten this far? So I've got some serious reservations about this whole process. I don't feel like the issues are 100% solved tonight. Great that we're doing the resolution, but I honestly don't trust it. And that's the way I feel.
Thank you so much. Mr. Beard's up, and then Mr. Rose.
Well, my name is Geoffrey Baird, and, well, you destroyed my speech.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for destroying a lot of my speech. I still think there is a lot that we can learn here. Thank you for the moratorium. Personally, I don't think it's long enough. It needs to be at least a year, okay? Now, for those of you that might perhaps believe that we're all left-wing disciples of climate change ideology, I can tell you that I know just as many Republicans like myself that, as Democrats, who object to such facilities being built near where they live. Fact is, many who moved to Paulding County did so for the peace and quiet, regardless of a political affiliation. And while it is true that most who oppose such facilities built being nearby don't actually live near one, far more have been affected by its impact it has already had on making computer technology unaffordable for many people. And now the memory chip shortage is affecting the automobile industry, driving prices even further upward there. Look, I get it. Our country is engaged in an AI arms race against communist China, but we need to be smart about how we wage this campaign. Why does an AI data center have to be built here in Paulding County? I mean, why not repurpose an abandoned inner city industrial area for this? If this is supposed to be good for Paulding County, we need it to be good for the people, not just the government. Perhaps it's time for you to educate us on why you think this is good for us, or on the attributes of this facility. How much power is it going to use? How much water will it use? Will they pay the same rate for utilities as we do per unit? What kind of cooling solution will it employ? What happens to the wastewater? How loud is it going to be? If this is so good, would you want it in your own backyard? We need the details. And what will happen when the AI bubble pops and we still have a large super complex near Bethel Church Road or wherever it is you plan on building it or having it built? What assurances do we have that it won't be repurposed into a mass surveillance center in conjunction with all the flock cameras that we've been hearing about so much lately? George Orwell would be proud of that. George Washington, not so much. And if this Atlas facility would produce an appreciable amount of tax revenue, how about an act of good faith and giving us a bit of a break on our property tax millage rate? Okay, property taxes by principle are the most unfair form of taxation we have. Even a small reduction this year, I think, would be an act of good faith combined with the moratorium. A longer moratorium would be better. But I want to thank you for at least issuing the moratorium. Let's talk about it.
Thank you, Mr. Baird. Mr. Rose, you're up. And Ms. Kim, if you'll be next in line.
Thank you, County Commissioners, for allowing this opportunity for me to speak. I'm only able to attend these once-a-month meetings in the evenings because I work for a living. And thank you for providing them. I'd like to begin by reminding us that life's historical experiences has shown each of us that the squeaky wheel, or the loudest voice, or even the largest crowd is not necessarily the best advice that or direction we should go. It is not necessarily the right thing to do. I'm going to try to be brief without any fanfare, high emotions, red herrings, fear-mongering, or conspiracy theories. I've lived in Paulding County for several years. I've been involved in our community in many different ways. One of them serving as poll manager for the last 6 years. I recognize also that you too serve the community by your service in your positions that you now serve. Thank you for listening and representing me. I had planned to just attend and learn more about what was going on in Paulding. But after last month's meeting, I was disturbed by what I saw and heard. I thought to myself, what can I do? Then I had the thought, well, I have over 50 years experience in IT. I can share that and what I've learned about data centers. I've worked over 50 years in IT and provided for my family. It's provided for my community and also allowed me to have some stability in my life and for my family. I understand the concerns about mega data centers. I believe our commissioners have listened, and you've shown that today. I've worked in data centers and many types and sizes, and I'd like to share some facts and observations that others may disagree with, and thank God we have the freedom to express the differences of points of views and learn from each other, hopefully with respect. For 12 years, I worked in a building where the data center was right outside my office. I did not suffer any medical issues, no heart issues, or anything else that's supposedly contributed by being near a data center. My perspective is this: a data center is not a moral issue. It can be a size of a bedroom or a major complex. Most data centers are the size of this room. They require electrical power, air conditioning, backup power, and also known as UPSs, and sometimes generators as additional backup. They provide a service to multiple services to reduce costs for businesses, research, and hospitals. Our hospital has a data center. Most data centers are built in the same building where people and employees work. They include HR, payroll, programmers, and not to forget support staff and janitorial staff. Where data centers is an opportunity for growth for businesses. You think most businesses write paychecks by hand? You're wrong. Data centers provide this service for many businesses today. I've looked into this issue, and I've listened to both sides, and I'm guessing that you have done so too. There are things to look at, and most of those concerns, I believe, can be dealt with one way or the other. Data centers bring income to people who are building them. They bring income to people who work in them. They bring income to those who use their services. Beyond just the income that's provided for medical researches and reduced costs and timelines in achieving these research. This income can be coming to Paulding County. In my opinion, if you're against any data centers, quote unquote, then you're against any businesses. You're most likely a hypocrite because you're also benefiting from the data centers every day by using ATMs or checking on the internet. So the very phrase, against all data centers, is against common sense. It's like saying I'm against the color purple or pink, or I'm against bottled water, and think you should ban it from the county. Everyone has a right to their opinions.
Your time's
of bottled water.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
your time's up.
I'm sorry. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comment. Ms. Kim, you're up, and Ms. Sawyer, she'll be next.
Hi, my name's Taylor Kim, and also my speech is kind of ruined now. I do want to say thank you so much for the moratorium. That is huge. I do think it needs to be more than 6 months. I think at least a year. There's so much we need to look at, looking at amending the UDO, TPOD, anything in there. My speech is a little shorter, and I'm not good at spitballing, so just bear with me. It's been very stressful throughout this whole thing. If I have learned one thing, though, through this data center proposal, is that we, the people, come together in times of uncertainty, and that's really beautiful to see. We know from basic research that these centers are not so cut and dry, and they could potentially raise major health and environmental concerns. I truly don't believe I don't believe we need these in Paulding County, at least as many as you guys are proposing and where they are. Part of a commissioner's job is to protect their community and make decisions that prioritize the safety and welfare of the people. It also entails regulation of development and protecting residential areas from environmental dangers. So I am thankful you took that to heart in this situation and did put a moratorium on here. Data centers don't talk about protecting our communities or preserving our lands or our farms. The real truth comes from the people who stand to lose, the ones that will be living right next to these, not the developers, not the end users, and not the ones who stand to profit the most. And not every project that promises money for a community is right for the land and the people who will have to live with it every day. And this is not about stopping technological progress, but putting it where it belongs, which is out of our backyards. And people are drawn to Paulding County for many reasons. Some because of its peace, its quiet, its nature. We are close enough to restaurants and shops without that big city feel and still enjoy what nature has to offer. And people come to Paulding County to get away from industrial encroachment, which is what this feels like. It's our job to hold the board accountable for life-changing decisions and ensure that our current and future elected officials represent us, the people. Change can be good, but it also needs to be meaningful and appropriate. So again, I do thank you for the moratorium.
Thank you. Are you Ms. Nelson?
Marilyn?
Oh, I didn't see you in the batter part, Ms. Sawyer. And
I didn't want to walk in front of everybody when you told me to get there, but mine's blown too, so let's think of something else. Dean. I'm sorry I said, hey, there's Dean at the church yesterday, but, hey, I just felt the urge. But I wanted to say thank you. I don't think 6 months is long enough either. We have heavily done research in this and not using Fox News, CNN, and YouTube. We have dug through all the legal channels, the EDUs, the EPAs, just on the EPA website alone, the files that I pulled for all the violations on all of our watersheds over the past 10 years, over 30 some of them, with contaminants and spills and how they only run 30%. They're not good here. I don't believe a data center, as huge as these are, don't have a place in our lives. The Theron here says, most data centers are as big as this room. He's absolutely right. So when we say data centers, I think people need to understand that what we're proposing to put in people's backyards is not a building the size of this room. The size of this room in these mega centers that are a campus with 14 flipping 5,000 square foot buildings on them.
If you would address it
I
to
like,
the chair, not at the audience.
Oh, you could stick 500 of these rooms in some of those data centers. And this is what the argument has been with the people who are in the neighborhoods that are pro data center. They just hear data center and this is what they think. They're not walking out with a visual of 16 mega shopping centers in their backyard. There's a big difference of what's happening. The data centers that are this size, they did run on cool loop, hardly any water, just recycle the same water. They didn't have the lights going, the security, the noise. They didn't have all that. In 10 years, as fast as the technology has grown, when he was talking about the size of the data center, I was thinking about my dad. My dad was a super mechanic through the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. He won awards and awards. He's been in sports magazines and everything. He could troubleshoot a car and fix it in 10 minutes like that. He's got tons and tons of documents and statue things and plaques over on how to do that. If my dad were alive today, he wouldn't even be able to put his frickin' hand in a damn car underneath the hood. The technology has come so far. When he knew everything about that vehicle, it has come so far in the last 25 years to where if he popped a hood today, he wouldn't know nothing. He wouldn't be able to put his hand down there. He'd have to take it to a car. And the same thing goes for the people who say they've worked in data centers for 30 and 50 years. The technology has come so far that they have no idea of the change of these new mega-site data centers. They're nothing in comparison to what the 30 to 50 years of working in these data centers are. And we're right, we don't need them. My internet is fine. My camera works fine. My Google works fine until about 3:30 in the morning when my internet does that reset and I get all ticked off because I'm on a search page and I'm freaking out because my internet takes 35 seconds to come back on. That's the only problem I have. Once in a while, I get the little buzzer because my electric went out for 2 seconds, but we're doing fine. You all got photos on your phones. We're doing everything fine with the little 6-room data center that we have out there. There's hundreds of them. There's thousands of them. We're doing fine. Do you see any slow up in what we do every day? To have 300 of these coming into Georgia, that big, on that kind of a scale, don't you have to question yourself and say, what are they for? Really, what are they for? They're not for our photos and our internet. They are not for that. Our population is shrinking, and that's a common thing. All of us old people are dying. The young ones aren't having kids. It is shrinking.
Miss Sawyer, your time's up.
Okay. But thank you, and I wish it had been a year.
Thank you, Miss Sawyer.
Have a good night. Go home. Shut your computers off. Don't do no searching tonight, okay?
Miss Nelson.
First and foremost, I want to thank the board and the chairman for listening to the residents of this county and for agreeing to impose a moratorium. For months, residents have asked this board to press pause. Tonight's moratorium shows that public participation can make a difference. I'm incredibly proud of the residents and Shannon who showed up, spoke out, and made their voices heard. And I sincerely commend this board for taking that step and listening to us to put a pause on this. But a moratorium is not the finish line. It is an opportunity that must not be wasted. I pray that it leads to genuine review and a meaningful reform, not a pause followed by business as usual. During this time, I asked the board to establish a transparent review process with clear goals. We need more than an email address. We need true face-to-face resident involvement and regular updates so the community knows what is being studied and considered. The financial claims behind these projects must also be fully examined. If a data center is being proposed as a major tax benefit, residents deserve to know whether those revenues will actually materialize. Before any future approval, the board should commit that no data center in the county will receive a pilot, a bond for title, tax abatement, or any other tax reduction without full public disclosure and an independent financial review. Taxpayers deserve clear answers on the expected revenue, the timing, if there are incentives, what the duration of those incentives will be, and when will full taxes begin to be paid. The county should not sell projects based on projected revenue only to later reduce that revenue through incentives. Reviewing each project in isolation is like examining one raindrop at a time while ignoring the flood in your front yard. The cumulative review should include electricity demand, water and wastewater capacity, energy response needs, specialized training and equipment for first responders, road infrastructure, noise, environmental impacts, and compatibility with the surrounding neighborhoods. The TPOD itself must also be reviewed, including permitted uses, building standards, setbacks, mechanical equipment, and its interaction with underlying residential zonings. Property rights must be considered on all sides. They belong not only to the developer or land sellers, but also to the homeowners who invested in their communities with the expectation that zoning protections would be respected. Owning the property does not mean you get to do anything and absolutely whatever you want to do with it. If it did, every neighborhood disagreement would end with someone building a gun range or a 24-hour karaoke bar next door in their backyard singing, "Here's a quarter, call someone who cares." The precedent set here will extend far beyond data centers. If this process can redefine residential land use today, it can also define land use tomorrow. The board will change, but the legal and governmental precedent will remain. Government power has a funny habit of looking wonderful when your side controls it, and very terrifying when someone else does. As Proverbs 15:22 reminds us, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. We are not opposed to growth or development, but we are asking for responsible growth that respects existing communities and protects Paulding County long after you guys leave office. Tonight I ask you to use this pause to correct the process, strengthen the guardrails, require independent review, protect homeowners, and rebuild that public trust. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for your willingness to consider these concerns. This moratorium is a very important first step, but again, it's only a first step. What you do next will determine whether this becomes a temporary pause or a true turning point for Paulding County. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nelson. At this time, is there any comments or anything from the commissioners? I will start it off and say, Ms. Nelson, you're one of 4 people who's done it right. Instead of hollering just in the neighborhood, you came to my office and we talked and had a civil conversation. There's only 4 people who's actually done that in the county. Thank you for doing it correctly. Any other comments or concerns? Then there's no executive session, so I'll ask for a motion for adjournment tonight. Do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Ms. Gaker, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Y'all are dismissed.